world surrounded by franchises, reboots, and shared universes. An elite team of podcasters will risk body and soul to investigate the depths of intellectual properties, one multiverse, subgenre, and trend at a time. Who are we? We're the IP Squad. Welcome back to the IP Squad and our ongoing investigation into films based on video games. I'm John Campbell, of course, my stalwart partner for this investigation. He just keeps coming back for more. It's Mike Gorgone.
Well, John, look, you talk about a giant monster movie, and I'm going to show up regardless of what season it is.
That's true. I mean, this was one of the. There were a few that were like, you've obviously done the most episodes this season, but there were a few that like you had to. And Rampage had to be a Mike Gorgone movie.
Oh, I'm sorry, John. You can only call it that if it's from the Rampage region of France. Otherwise, it's just sparkling kaiju.
Yeah, this is artisanal giant animal movie.
It's a brisk and delightful. This is the best movie we've watched this season, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Just in terms of like pure enjoyment factor,
I think so.
I want to say.
I think so.
I mean, obviously, I'm so in the bag for this. It's not even funny, but
no, I enjoy this movie quite a bit as well. I do really like 2018's Rampage. Yeah, I'm just looking back on the list. No, yeah, there's nothing that I enjoyed as much as this. I saw this in the theater. I've seen it a couple times since, and I had a good time watching it the other night. And that is not normally the case on this show. So
yeah. And like I was a weird defender of Warcraft, and I will go to the mat for the original Mortal Kombat movie.
No, and like I I like the. I have to look to see if it's come out yet. Okay, yeah, last week's episode, the Alicia Vikander Tomb Raider, I enjoy, but this is pretty fun. It's very silly, but it knows it's silly, not in like a spoofy way, just in a like, yeah, man, with Rampage.
Everyone in this movie gets the assignment. The filmmakers, the writers, all the actors involved. Like, you're making a movie about a game that is literally just a side scroller where you're playing as giant monsters, eating people and crushing buildings, and it delivers.
The thing about this one as a video game adaptation, I feel like this is a movie a lot of people didn't even know was a video game adaptation.
But Mike Gorgone, who played unlimited number of hours Rampage Universe on his N64 and GameCube respectively, knew this was a video game adaptation right out of the box.
Of course. I mean, but yes, that's it exactly. It is a game about giant animals wrecking shit.
Now, weird thing about adaptations, this movie is in, like, other than the basic premise of giant monsters wrecking a city, isn't really an adaptation of the quote-unquote plot of those games.
Is there a plot of those games?
Yes, technically there is.
Okay.
The plot of those games, for what it is, again, very, very thin, but there is an evil science company that I believe is just called Scum Labs.
Okay, I can see why they changed that.
Infects people. Importantly, it's people that become giant monsters.
Okay. Whereas here, of course, it's supercharging actual animals.
Yeah. That's the big deviation, and the only real deviation, because there's not much to deviate from.
No, I think that's the thing. Exactly. I mean, in some ways, though, isn't that kind of something that is like good about this, right? Is that there's not a lot to live up to here, so you could almost take this in any direction.
Yeah, and like, look, do they change the basic designs of the monsters just in terms of like their profiles? Yeah, because the monsters in the games are just like humans with animal heads that clamber through a city and punch things.
Right.
And so they have an anatomically correct giant lizard, giant wolf, and giant gorilla.
I mean, they could really, if not for choosing those 3 animals, and of course they also give them the names associated with the game.
Did they ever say Lizzie in the
I don't
movie?
think they say Lizzie. The other 2, because I think they're like, it's a lizard that's a little too. But the other 2, they definitely.
You get George and Ralph, yeah.
Yes, those. I do like just, the internet calls him Ralph. Oh, well, who's to question the internet?
Sure, yeah.
But, yeah, other than that, you almost could have this could have not been Rampage specifically. But
no, I mean, it is just Dwayne Johnson action vehicle from the late teens.
And that is why I went to this movie, because I go to every movie starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Sure.
I'm a fan. He is. Is he not our generation's Arnold?
Yeah. I mean, that's tough to argue.
Because this, obviously, effects aside, but like in 1993, this would have been Arnold in a big gorilla. This is what I kept thinking watching it. And that's why I like Dwayne Johnson. Someone needs to be a muscle-bound, action hero in these kind of dumb but fun genre movies.
And look, this movie was sandwiched between 2017's Jumanji reboot.
Saw it.
Which I know both of us loved.
Love it.
And the less well-loved Skyscraper.
You know what?
Which I'm sure you saw.
Love it. Love it.
Dwayne Johnson has a fake leg and has to climb a skyscraper.
Yes. What I love about that
skyscraper is also blowing up. I never saw the film.
It is. What I love about it is a skyscraper that is both taken over by terrorists and on fire.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, it's like, what is this? Are you doing Die Hard or the Towering Inferno? Both. We're doing
yes,
both.
Correct.
I saw that opening day and fucking loved it, and I saw this opening day and fucking loved it. I did go to this in IMAX the day it opened. Can we talk about the fact that I want to talk about the poster for just a second, because it literally is just Dwayne Johnson with a giant gorilla next to him, a destroyed city, and the tagline, "Big meets bigger."
We all kind of believe that Dwayne Johnson is a big dumb ape. What if we teamed him up with a even bigger, dumber ape?
You know what's surprising? This is the second time we've talked about him on this show, and that feels surprising. I can't believe he's only done 2 video game adaptations. Of course, there is the Jumanji movies, which are video game adjacent, though.
Yeah, they feel video gamey.
And let's not forget that he did Jungle Cruise based on a theme park ride. So, I mean...
Look, it works so well with Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah. You know what, though? I fucking enjoy Jungle Cruise and Red. I enjoy all of these. This is a thing I feel like, and you've been in some of these, or you've witnessed me in these arguments. We're not arguing about them. But, like, people really bag on me sometimes for liking stuff like this or the Transformers movies. I see these and then go about my life. These aren't, like, movies that mean a lot to me, but I like when stuff goes kaboom in movies, I just think it's an interesting thing, whereas people was like, you go to all those Transformers? Sure, because the big robots go pow-pow, And
I love it when a giant monster wrecks a city. That's
man. This movie's very fun. We were talking about that. It doesn't take its I guess I'll just bring it up now because I think the guy who really gets the assignment here is Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
I was going to say him or Joe Manganiello.
Both of those guys know 100% they're in a giant monster movie.
Joe Manganiello's intro in this movie is this like the tracking shot from behind his back as he is slowly handed more and more weapons is just this movie being like, look, we know what kind of movie this is.
Absolutely. I mean, he is introduced like he's the star of a Predator movie, right? Like he's got...
And then is subsequently killed by a giant flying spike shooting wolf.
Which is pretty fucking cool. And then Jeffrey Dean Morgan doing this Kentucky Fried accent that I'm like, you know that he just did that. There's no reason why he has to be like, oh, well, let me tell you something about... What he has the best line in the movie, which is just, when science shits the bed, I'm the guy the government calls to change the sheets. The hell does that mean? That's amazing.
We never know what organization he works for. He is literally just a man in black.
What does he say? He's with OGA, other government agency.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's like a bad guy until he's a good guy. Then he's just like, you know what? I like your style, Rock.
I like the cut of your jib. Here, steal a helicopter.
Well, this is also one of those great action movie setups where Dwayne Johnson is a primatologist.
Former special forces, former poacher hunter, primatologist working at the San Diego Zoo, Californian zoo.
Always assume, by the way, any Rock character was a former special forces and or Navy SEAL.
So that we can just hand wave like, oh, he knows how to escape from a crashing plane and or drive a helicopter.
I actually, one of the most charming Dwayne Johnson scenes is him in the helicopter being like, hold on, no, wait, no, it's coming back. It's coming back. Because that's the thing about one of the reasons I do go to all those movies, and actually something he does share with Arnold or a lot of these guys is, dude's just charming. Even in the silly movies, I just like that guy.
Yeah, I like him way more in the roles like this one, where he isn't too serious.
Yeah,
Dwayne Johnson being like full stoic hard ass kind of loses me. I think what is it? The Smashing Machine hasn't come out yet.
Yeah,
I'll be curious to see in like a fully dramatic role. Like
that's him really like going for. I think he's capable of that. Certainly, I think it'll be interesting to see. He doesn't do a lot of the stoic stuff. So I think you're talking about something like Black Adam, maybe.
Yeah.
Like that's where he's more serious. I do like him in this mold. Or you know what? I enjoyed Red One. I'll say it. I don't care. I thought it was fun.
Okay, I mean, look, but I like him as like Hobbs in the Fast and the Furious.
Oh, I mean,
movies.
that's the gold standard of Rock performances, right? I mean, that's his franchise.
When I'm thinking like stoic Rock, I don't think he's great in G.I. Joe Retaliation. Like,
well, I mean, you know, is anyone?
Yeah, that's fair, but like, I don't know as if like he was. That movie San Andreas he was in, where he was a
by the way
pilot in the
same
movie.
Director as this movie. Because did you look up the guy who directed this movie? Because he has directed multiple Dwayne Johnson. He kind of has Brad Payton. I will say, having seen a lot of his movies, he has like 3 directors that he works with, and they're just clearly guys who like know how to film him.
Oh right, Rock did that stupid Journey to the Center of the Earth sequel.
Yeah, that guy directed this. He did San Andreas and he did Rampage. And then he did not a Rock movie, but Atlas, which might as well have been a Rock movie with Jennifer Lopez in a robot armor. Anybody see? This movie doesn't exist.
Right.
This is a movie that doesn't exist.
This happened.
Yeah, it's because once again, it's a movie that doesn't exist.
Simu Liu and Mark Strong. This movie
good cast,
pretty stacked.
Good cast. It came and went.
Brown's kicking around.
Yeah, it came and went like nobody's business.
Is this a Netflix? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you bet it is.
Did this even get a theatrical release?
No, sir.
Okay.
No. No, I didn't watch it. It looked dumb. He is currently in pre-production on San Andreas 2, though. What if it happened again? No, I don't know what that's going to be.
Wait, hold on. Are you serious? San Andreas 2 is happening?
I am serious about that. I don't know what the plot is, but yeah.
Apparently, Dwayne Johnson's back for it.
Of course. He's got to rescue more people in his helicopter. And Paul Giamatti's back as the guy going, oh, God, the quake is happening.
What if it happened again? That is like, how else do you do a San Andreas?
I know, yes.
Sequel?
Well, what if he moved to another part of the country and that fault? Oh, fuck, not again! God damn it! I can't.
Man, that's such a '90s action.
I can't catch a break.
These tornadoes, they're following me.
I will say, this movie has a really good cast of people for the most part, with nothing to do though. I mean, Naomi Harris is just here to be science lady. Mullen Ackerman is having fun as just bitchy CEO scumbag woman.
Yeah, I forgot Jack Quaid was.
I also forgot Jack Quaid is in this movie as idiot intern who will be humiliated in every scene.
Yeah, and we do get a couple of good Boimler screams out of him, though.
No, he's very good at this. He is very always pleasant to see him. Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, I think the only people who are really like chewing up scenery here are Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Joe Manganiello, because like both of them are just like, we're in a totally different movie than The Rock.
Well, The Rock is The Rock. I mean, The Rock is playing his part, which is he's earnest, he's heroic, he's incredibly asexual. Have you heard people talk about this?
It is shot like 5 times in this movie and just keeps walking.
When Malin Ackerman shoots him like in the gut at the end, and he's just like, whatever.
The drop line explaining is like, pretty sure she missed all the vital organs. Now time to have an action scene.
And then the wound never bothers him again.
If you look at him in that whole sequence, he's been shot in the back several times, and it never comes up.
Nope. He just flexed and the bullets came out, like, there we go. Yeah, let's talk about, so the main character he plays here is David Okoye.
Davis
Okoye. Even cool. He's
got 2 last names.
Davis Okoye is, the raddest dude on the planet.
Yeah, special forces, poacher hunter, primatologist.
Oh, my other
loves animals more than people.
My other favorite line is the thing about when he got in a gunfight with other poachers. What happened? They shot at me and missed. I shot back. I didn't. Rad. He's also he's so cool that when hot women want to fuck him, he's like, no,
thank you.
Have you heard about that? I mean, I've seen people bring it's true. If you start looking at all his movies, he is maybe our most asexual movie star on screen.
You know what? I admire that.
He sometimes has a wife in movies, but he never like has a love interest. He rarely ever kisses anyone on screen. I was actually, because I mean, I would say it is shocking that he and Naomi Harris do not kiss. Not that I think they should, but just movie logic would dictate that they would kiss by the end of the movie.
Yeah, I mean, they at least like embrace.
Yeah, no, they'd never play that at all.
Yeah, which I appreciate.
No, yeah. It's just weird that that's always his thing.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah.
Like, do I need like sexed up action heroes anymore? Like, because that's such a thing from the like 70s and 80s.
Well, because there's no Arnold movie where he's not getting in bed with the leading lady. I mean,
Stallone's the same way.
Oh, hell yeah.
Even freaking Van Damme.
Well, Van Damme's got to show off those buns. All right, we got to have an excuse to show that ass off.
Well, that's true. If you got to flaunt it.
Yeah, I will say, that is always the thing. Whenever we watched a JCVD movie on the Action Shelf, it was very rare we didn't get a shot of that butt. He worked hard on it. So we have primatologist / he worked for a UN sponsored tactical team that hunted down poachers.
Good work if you can get it.
I know, yeah. And now he works as a primatologist.
Talk about being like completely morally justified and killing lots of humans.
Yeah,
being a poacher hunter.
Yeah, this guy just rules. and so he is working at I don't know if it's specifically the San Diego Zoo, but like an animal sanctuary somewhere in Southern California.
Right. And his friend in the whole wide world is a big albino gorilla named George.
Absolutely, because they get each other. And George,
they do.
He may be an albino gorilla, but also he's a cut up.
Oh, he's a bit of a goofball. He likes to play some tricky tricks.
I'll say this right up front here. I think the effects are really good in this movie. I think the animals look great.
They spend way more time on George than the other two.
No question.
Like some of the effects are a little wishy-washy later in the film when we have Dwayne Johnson interacting with giant gorilla. Like if they're sharing screen, there's a bit of like you can see the seams a little bit, but for the most part, I think you're right. Yeah,
because there are several times in the movie where I was also very much aware, like, oh, they're on a soundstage, but I was just aware of that cognitively. Visually, I'm going, it's pretty good though. Like when they're in the destroyed city and stuff like that, I'm like, not bad. But yeah, I do think George in particular is fully realized in a great way.
And they got to, because he's kind of the second lead of the movie.
It really is that. Like, we get the guy that you and I would be cast as, which is P.J. Burns' character of Nelson.
But we totally lose him after Act 1.
No, yeah, that's the thing. Is like he's kind of set up as if he's going to be his sidekick, but no, it really is the gorilla. Mm-hmm. And even Naomi Harris is second to the gorilla.
Which is maybe why I'm so on board with this movie, because unlike a lot of, I'm gonna call them kaiju adjacent films. I mean, this is a kaiju movie, but
very much, yeah. Who care? I don't care what your definition of kaiju is. From a structural standpoint, this is 100% a kaiju movie,
right? But there's a lot of those out there, especially the like non-Godzilla ones, where the giant monster involved is just straight up the villain of the film. And that's their place in most of these movies, including most Godzilla movies. But I do love a protagonist monster. And so you gotta devote time to making George a sympathetic creature that you can, despite him becoming monstrous later in the film, you got to be like, no, George, he was so nice earlier, he made a poop joke.
Well, and even the more antagonistic animals aren't evil. They are made this way. It is an evil corporation movie at the end of the day. It is their fault. No one asked. None of these monsters signed up to be turned, or none of these animals signed up to be turned into monsters.
Yeah, I do like the opening sequence where it's like, oh, this giant rat is loose on a space station killing everyone.
The beginning of the movie that is a real like, hey man, you're either into this or not, right? At that point.
Yeah. When we start on genetics testing being done on a space station for everyone's safety.
And once again, the other person I think who is kind of having fun in this, once again, is Malin Ackerman. I mean, she's just irredeemably evil.
Oh, yeah. And she's like clearly setting up her brother the whole movie to take the fall. And she's just keeping this idiot around. What's his name? Brett, played by Jake Lacey.
Who's also a very good actor who doesn't have much to do here, but I will say does create a character out of nothing, basically.
Sure. Who Jeffrey Dean Morgan like unrepentantly like puts in the way of death.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, you go ahead and go out there and die, son.
Yeah. Like he just is very much a kind of like extrajudicial killing of this guy who is kind of the root of all these problems.
I'm a huge Jeffrey Dean Morgan fan in general, and just the way he swaggers through this thing, where it's like, yeah, I got it. I know what I'm doing in this thing. Yeah, it's just like you almost see him be like, Brad, I've got it. Okay. Trust me.
My first rodeo.
Yeah, I know what's asked of me here. All right. I mean, it's because he swaggers through Walking Dead like this too. He swaggered through Watchmen. The guy's got swagger. I just like him. Doesn't
he have his own Walking Dead spinoff now?
He sure does. Dead City.
Oh boy.
He's the guy running New York or some shit. I don't know. I don't know. He took it on the road. Someday I'll watch all of those, I'm sure, but
Maggie and Negan travel to a post-apocalyptic Manhattan long ago cut off from the mainland. City is filled with the dead and denizens who have made New York City their own world. Okay.
Yeah, I've seen some of the promos. I mean, it looks fun. Once again, he's fun, and his take on that character is, and then you got Daryl Dixon over in Europe for some reason. I mean, I just like that it's just like, I don't know, man, let's just take all these characters and throw them other places with zombies. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Why not? This whole movie, actually, though, to that attitude is kind of like, why not? Like, if you're already starting from it's about giant animals attacking a city, I don't feel like there's anything else you do that'd be like, oh, come on.
Yeah, no. I mean, I will say my one, I wish they'd maybe push this a little farther for this movie is we have Ralph, our giant wolf, who's clearly got some other weird stuff going on because it's evolving the ability to fly and shoot spikes and stuff. And none of the other giant animals are getting weird mutations.
That's true.
I wish they kind of did.
You're right. It does sort of feel like, I don't know, we ran out of time or money or something to do.
It's like, why doesn't Lizzie breathe fire? Come on. It's a giant monster movie. Somebody's got to breathe fire.
See, that's the thing I'm talking about, where it's like, once again, if that happened, I would have been like, okay. I mean, you even have the Rock
some laser beam eyes.
Hey, why not? The Rock even has that moment where he's like, the wolf flies now. All right, like, no, we're in that kind of movie.
Yeah.
Like, also, what I just love where it's like, we're gonna go out into the destroyed city, and the Rock's just like, hold on, he grabs a grenade launcher.
Just happens to find a grenade. He happens to find so many things in this movie.
Oh, so many things. He is just, I mean, he really is just there. I love every time he's like captured or whatever. You're just like, oh no, I'll just get out of it.
Yeah.
No, whatever.
I'm gonna knock him out, then choke him out. Then we're gonna steal a helicopter, and we're gonna leave. That's how.
Yeah. I feel like an improvised moment is when he's choking. The guy goes, "Don't fight it, son. That's a big arm."
That was a trailer moment.
Of course it was, because you're like, The Rock has muscles.
Yeah.
Here's my money.
But yeah, we got a ton of other people in this movie as well. Matt Gerald, who is like, you and I will recognize 1,000 action shelf movies.
Matt Gerald has played this guy in 800 movies. If you need a guy who is on a team, I mean, he played the Gladiator on Daredevil. Is probably the most like front and center role I've seen him in.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he has played any number of cops, tactical team members, CIA operatives, whatever, special forces guys. Because I
think he was just another of those, like, and a guy on the team in Avatar 2.
Of course. I mean, look, this is not the only Rock movie he's in.
What other Rock movie is
he's in? G.I. Joe Retaliation, playing soldier guy, and he's in San Andreas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he's in I mean, why not, man? Sure.
Oh no, he was in that ill-fated Magnum PI.
Don't remind me. I'm gonna lose my lunch. Oh God.
It's okay. It's okay, John. He was also in Mayor of Kingstown.
Oh well, I do love Mayor of Kingstown.
I know you do.
I do remember him on there actually. Yeah, I see he's going to be in all the Avatar movies as Wayne Fleet.
Sure, who is just other soldier guy.
Yeah.
Is he one of the guys who gets turned into soldier Avatar?
Oh, I'm looking at him here in a picture from the second one. Yes, he is in Na'vi form.
He is. There's a whole crew of bad guy soldier dudes get Na'vi bodies.
Yeah. There's a number of pictures of him here, looking like that. Good.
I know you're not as hot on those films as I am.
Not hot is a understatement. Cold, ice cold on those movies. But whatever. Hey, if people enjoy them, that's fine. Yeah. So I mean, what to say about this? And once again, like you talk about as a video game adaptation, it's
so
yes.
Because I knew going into this movie, the conversation is like big monsters to go smash. Like that's the whole movie. Well, I don't know what else there's to talk about.
No, and it's because the movie is nothing but that, and then in the scenes where it's not that is science gleep glop.
It's science gleep glop and The Rock running around being like, "We got to do the science," and everyone else going like, "Okay, time to science."
And him. He's also, of course, because he's a hero. He's the guy who's like, "No, you can't kill that gorilla. He's my best friend."
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, what were you gonna say? Though?
There's like 6 scenes of that, but talking about this as like weirdly the gold standard of video game adaptations.
Well, I mean, to a certain extent,
in film anyway, because obviously we've talked about Fallout being the perfect one.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're coming up on the Sonic movies too, which I think are pretty good for going in a different direction.
Sure. And I have my issues with those films, but overall they're fairly delightful.
Yeah, and they are an approach to adapting a video game that I think works in general. But yeah, I do think some of the thing is, and this is not, I mean, this is, I should say, because I don't want to disparage video games by any stretch of imagination, but at least for this kind of video game, when you're talking about a what was an arcade smash 'em up, right?
Yes, let us not forget the history, the sordid legacy of the Rampage video game franchise. Developed by Midway, of course, a company that no longer exists.
Right, but but had a moment. I definitely remember that logo.
Sure. Like Midway was responsible for a ton of arcade games back
Mm-hmm.
in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Most notably, Mortal Kombat might be one that you recognize,
Yeah,
as
I
well
have heard
as
of that.
Spy Hunter was another big one, at least in arcades. Rampage, we got MPA Jam, we got NFL Blitz, those games. But yeah, Midway kind of stopped existing in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, the original Rampage was like, yeah, you're three giant monsters, you're side scrolling, you're busting out buildings, you're eating people, getting power ups, breaking tanks and planes and stuff. And like, that's the whole game. And video games as a whole kind of left the Rampage formula behind. So any like more modern Rampage games have gotten like pretty bad reviews because they've never tried to, like, there isn't a lot to innovate on Rampage, right?
Right.
Like an innovation on Rampage would be something like Hulk Ultimate Destruction, which is a game I know you and I both enjoyed.
Oh, of course, because it's just breaking shit.
Right, and that's the whole thing about Rampage too. But like, how do you turn Rampage into a 3-dimensional game is a hard
Right.
sell.
It really does feel of its era.
Yeah, for sure.
And
And so like when you have a game that is all one single essence of go through city, break city, eat people, like that is what monster movies have been doing since the dawn of time.
no, I think one of the things when you talk about it being like one of the best things that's been on this season is we keep talking about these movies that try to overcomplicate these things, that take these incredibly simple games and go like, oh, hold on here, we got to make this into a movie. This movie complicates it just enough to like build a foundation for smashing of monster smashing shit, but is really like,
It complicates it just enough so that it like makes more sense than what the video game does. I
Right.
believe in Rampage World Tour, Universal Tour, there is like a bit of a like wraparound scene plot of the like this evil laboratory has like distributed some chemical that is turning people into giant monsters, but no one's really complaining about it because the giant monsters are fighting back an alien invasion.
Right. I mean,
And like,
that's because like the thing about this is they add in all the science gobbledygook, but really that is just like there's a thing that makes monsters big and mean, or makes animals big and mean.
This movie is kind of does date itself to 2018 because like that was an era, or just
CRISPR?
before that was also,
You know about the CRISPR talk? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I know in the James Bondian fashion of, because I was like in the Roger Moore James Bond movies that he just knows everything. I love that like Naomi Harris comes into the
Speaking of Bond.
Yeah, I know. Monty Penny herself comes into this and is talking about, yeah, I've developed this thing. And The Rock just goes, oh, yes, based on CRISPR, of course. Like, what the fuck do you know, The Rock?
Well, because he read the opening crawl.
Yeah. I just love that, though. That I just love when these guys are like, oh, he's a primatologist, and he hunted poachers, and he's in the special forces. And yeah, I've read up on the latest in scientific advances. Sure, of course I know what you're talking about. And also,
I'm a grumpus who prefers animals.
I mean, and let's also say, as much as there's a lot of kaiju stuff in this movie, there is so much Jurassic Park in this movie. It's not even funny.
Oh, sure, there's a lot of Jurassic Park. There's a lot of King Kong.
Yeah.
The movie I kept going back to weirdly is Mighty Joe, which I know is like
Sure.
kind of a deep cut where giant monster movies are
Well, because
concerned.
it's a remake of a ripoff of King Kong.
Yeah.
Because you're talking about
Is that Charlize Theron?
Yes. Yeah, that was like one of her first like leading roles in anything. And Paxton? I think it's Charlize Theron and Bill Paxton. Because if you needed somebody to run from a monster or a tornado or something in the 90s, you called up a Paxton.
Sure.
But
because these monsters aren't like, they're big, but they're not like, they're just big enough that The Rock could realistically shoot a grenade launcher at it and feel like, okay, maybe you're doing something.
But when this gorilla just eats just swallows Malin Ackerman, I should say.
Well, because that's like the biggest game reference that happens in this. Because there's this like there's a civilian you can eat in the game that is that like gives you bonus points.
Right. And so that they basically create that, and they really make a meal out of that, quite literally. But the image of her just in slow motion going "Nah," as she falls into the gorilla's mouth.
Yeah,
and you're like, good.
I like that they don't like linger on it too much because I don't know, animals eating people, it can be real nasty.
Well, I mean, they do keep everything PG-13. This is a kaiju movie for the whole family. Going back to the Jurassic Park thing of it all, I do love that Naomi Harris' character, of course, is like, oh, the lone good scientist in the most evil company on Earth.
And space.
That's right. They're doing stuff that's so evil it had to be done in space.
We lost our whole space station. I'm mad. I'm going to beat up this model.
Yeah, what is the name of the company in this? Energine? Something.
Scum Labs.
Yeah, I mean, I just like they're like, that's too much. Just make it sound vague, but it's still basically Scum Labs. They do evil for a living. Because like, what is Endgame with this?
Oh, they never say.
No, what is going to be profitable about this?
They turn. I think the idea was to use this on people eventually, right?
I guess that would make sense, and there are military applications to that, I suppose, is the idea.
Sure, make some super soldiers. So why don't we always do that?
And also,
what could go wrong?
I love it. The villain's big play down the end of the movie is we're going to turn on this really loud signal that only they can hear that will draw them to our building. Well, that's a bad fucking idea.
Well, she says, like, okay, we'll draw them here and the military will take care of it for us.
Okay.
Not realizing that there's third one out there that is the most dangerous of the bunch.
Right, but also the military will take care of us for us, but probably at great... I mean, I guess what do they care? But, like, that's still going to most likely lead to the destruction of the city of Chicago, which it does.
Right, and they're just evil business people that don't care one lick.
Yeah. Well, you have one, who doesn't care one lick, and then, Jake Lacy does seem to just be playing the brother as a dummy.
He is dumb corpo nepo baby.
I do like one scene where he's just, once again, I just feel like, because he's a comedy guy primarily, Jake Lacy. Like, once again, I'm like, it was his idea just for one scene, he's just eating a giant burrito. For no reason.
That's a runner, John.
Yeah.
There's 3 different scenes where he's eating something.
Yeah, that's a thing. Like,
because when the FBI charges in, he's got like a McDonald's sandwich in his hand.
Yeah, he's just like eating his anxiety. It's pretty funny.
And like, they give each character enough stuff that like,
they're not characters. They have
doing
stuff. Yeah, I think is a great way to describe
like,
it.
They're unpretendingly evil, but Jake Lacy's character is always eating something. Malin Ackerman's character is always playing with the weird rat in the maze.
Yeah. Yeah, the rat thing. Yeah, the rat thing. And then he's carrying the rat around at the end of the movie. Don't leave my rat behind.
Which, in later Rampage games, there are additional monsters added to the game.
Oh, I can only assume.
Is a big mouse monster. I thought, like, when I originally saw this movie, I was like, oh, are we setting up other monsters? No, that is never the intention.
I will say, surprising lack of sequel setup.
Oh, this movie just gloriously just ends. Mm-hmm.
Which I'm fine with. It's just another thing that's surprising, especially for this time that it came out in 2018. You would have thought it would have been like, we would have, oh no, there was another canister that landed. Here we go again.
We don't even have a coda of like, and they lived happily ever after.
No, it just
city is still ruined, but good job, everybody. High five. End credits.
And that gorilla, he's still a cut up. He's a prankster.
Oh, he's a prankster.
Can I looking through the trivia here, one of my favorite things. It would not be one of these. I feel like each of these episodes has to at least mention where Uwe Boll skirted around this in some capacity.
Oh no! Get away, bad Uwe Boll, back.
Well, he
did broom out.
In 2009. He made a movie called Rampage. It has nothing to do with the game. Yeah,
no.
But he did demand that Warner Brothers changed the title of this movie because he said that it was damaging the brand of his movie should he want to make sequels. It claimed that the studio would shrink his brand and revenues he could use for future installments of his Rampage franchise, and he threatened to sue the studio, to which I'm sure Warner Brothers was like, go ahead. Like, he never did. He just threatened to. But I'm sure Warner Brothers was like, yeah, okay. Yeah, let's go to court over that, buddy.
Our Rampage has Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson on the front, and yours has, it says Uwe Boll. That immediately means it's invalid.
Right, yeah. And also, like, we bought the rights to a game called Rampage. That's just... Even when he doesn't make one of these movies, though, he can't not be in the trivia in some capacity.
John, one of the greatest decisions you ever made was not covering his shit.
Oh, I can't, because I've seen too many of them. I've seen a few of them, and trust me, one is too many. You know, if you've seen his movies, we did all 3 Blood Rain movies over on Meet the Monsters, and Jesus Christ, those are bad. By the time you get to the 3rd one, you're like, hey, that first one wasn't that bad. And that's how bad it gets, is you start to go like, I have nostalgia for the first one.
Yeah. People who complain about any modern film being like, worst movie I've ever seen, go watch Uwe Boll's filmography.
Any of them. Take your pick. I can't imagine his Holocaust movie that he definitely did make. He made a Auschwitz movie, I believe.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Yeah, and you're just like, how?
Who let this happen?
Yeah. I mean, that was the big thing we kept asking, is who keeps giving him money? Because it's not like he has a lot of money, but he obviously has some money to make those movies. What's he doing?
Eastern European money laundering.
Yeah, I think it was like loopholes in like government contracts. Something like that.
The country of Bulgaria has to write off a certain amount of money every year.
Yeah. Can I mention that the effects work here, we talked about it being pretty good, was done by Weta?
Oh, that tracks.
Yeah.
They're really good at making big things.
I mean, of course, the Peter Jackson King Kong, obviously.
Yeah. It's so, that movie is like a weird like signpost of like where creature effects were going and like what monsters would look like moving forward in films, because like between all the big bugs and the dinosaurs in that movie, which are like admittedly monstrous, you can kind of see the footprint of like where other giant monsters like trajectory in the world of like almost completely CG creations we're gonna go, because like there's a lot of what Godzilla's redesign for the films would kind of look like in the T-Rex and the other dinosaurs in that movie.
Absolutely. And I remember that just being blown away. Like, we'd never seen effects like that when that movie came out. It was like, wow, this looks amazing. Possible future season I've talked about is a King Kong season, just because it's more manageable than Godzilla in terms of movie count.
You say that.
There are, well, I mean, only movies King Kong, not
So Son of Kong is off the table.
I think Son of Kong is in there, but that's about as far.
What about King Kong Lives or King Kong Returns?
Yeah, no. I mean those, but it has to be King Kong, not other giant ape movie. I've looked it up. It's more than you'd think, but it's still manageable and still doesn't come close.
We do the Japanese ones too?
Ooh, that's an interesting question. Once again, if they are King Kong specifically.
Yeah, no. And there was a time where Toho was making King Kong movies.
Then those would count.
Because Mechani-Kong comes into it.
I mean, that's the thing about this, right? It's I just like the idea of the albino gorilla. Is just like, it's not King Kong. Our big ape is white,
which is a callback to Son of Kong.
Right, that's right.
Son of Kong was an albino giant gorilla.
Hey man, it happens. It happens.
Yeah, but like, I like that this movie. What we talked about at the beginning is this movie knows what it is, but it is like making all the right decisions to be like, we know exactly what we're doing here. We're gonna make the homages where they count. We're gonna like do the bonkers action stuff. We're going to like, do guns run out of bullets? Don't worry about it. Do our action heroes suffer wounds? Don't worry about it. Giant monster, go smash.
Do you like? I another thing that actually felt very I mentioned the Transformers franchise. I felt very Transformers franchise is the heavy militarization of this movie, which is, to be fair, also just kind of part and parcel with the kaiju movie, right? Is there it is, we're talking about Moabs and stuff in this movie.
I mean, this goes back to the 50s, like giant monster movies of just like the military has to represent this dog-headed mentality of like, well, there's nothing our bullets can't solve.
Hey, I'll shoot this fucking monster is what's going to happen.
And it inevitably goes bad because it always does. Name me one giant monster movie where the military actually like sorts it out. Actually, there is one that I can think of, and it is technically a Godzilla movie.
Oh, okay.
It's Roland Emmerich's 1998 Godzilla.
They do just kind of shoot that thing. Is actually
they just shoot it. And
yeah,
it
that's
dies.
right. That's right. That's right. Yeah, that's why I like that one. We've talked about kind of a fun giant monster movie, really not a good Godzilla movie.
No, correct.
No, it's no, I agree with that. But that's right. Well, because there is something about. I mean, it's the same thing with the Hulk too, right? You think about like what is in our real world our imagination of destructive power. Oh, well, it'd be military technology. So the idea of something destroying what we think of as the ultimate method of destruction, it makes sense, right? When you see the Hulk swinging a tank around or something like that. Same thing here, where it's like we're gonna. I do love that. One of the things I like about this movie is the mention of the Moab, where they're like, all right, well they're not gonna nuke Chicago, but they're gonna drop the most powerful, non-nuclear bomb we have on it.
Moab, for those who don't know, is an acronym that stands for Mother of All Bombs.
That's correct. I think they do say both things in the movie, but they do. There's a lot of Moab. And I've read enough Tom Clancy novels that I'm like, okay, I know what you're talking about. I'm with you, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. But I mean, a classic third act of these movies is always, if we don't stop this thing in the next 20 minutes, they're gonna level this city.
One of the things that I've always, it's been done a few times, mostly in comics, is the idea of like, we do the biggest thing we possibly can and it still doesn't work.
Right.
My favorite thing, I forget which series it is, but one of the more recent IDW Godzilla, they do try to nuke Godzilla, and all that succeeds in doing is giving him the ability to breathe lasers.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, doesn't the nuke just make him more powerful? I mean, that's usually how it works with a Godzilla. Yeah,
but I do want to see that in a film one of these days. Is just like they actually do try to nuke the monster, and it still doesn't work.
I have no doubt that will happen. I mean, those MonsterVerse movies keep getting more insane. So,
well, they busted out the Oxygen Destroyer in King of the Monsters. And I think that's like the top of the heap when it comes to weapons of mass destruction in those films.
Sure, there you go. Yeah, why not?
That's the thing that like literally sucks the oxygen out of like a 20-mile radius.
Yeah.
That's how they killed the Godzilla in the 54 movie.
That's right. Right.
Is the Oxygen
Destroyer.
Destroyer.
Right. Yeah.
Which, of course, inevitably spawned Destroya, one of Godzilla's greatest foes.
Well, I mean, it's something. There's always another monster around the corner, right? I mean,
and man's hubris to defeat the greatest monster of all time only led to an even greater monster.
That's the logic of these movies, no question. That's what I'm saying. I'm surprised that there's not like, oh shit, we woke up the super bear.
John, don't be ridiculous. The other monsters in this franchise are a warthog and a lobster. Come on.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, bear would be stupid.
Bear would just be ridiculous.
Well, I do like that they have George kill a grizzly right away to be like, holy fuck.
Yeah. The most dangerous predator this world knows, a grizzly bear. And snapped his neck.
Here's
like a
the thing, and this is one of the reasons I love The Rock, is he's a decent enough actor that he can say things like the most deadly land-based predator he's so good at saying nonsense. I mean, that is not nonsense, but I mean, so good at saying very heightened genre-y dialogue in a very sincere, serious way, which is actually not easy to do. He's also good at acting with a big gorilla that's not there.
And look, there's a reason a movie like even like possibly entertaining, and I know you enjoy that movie, and that is one of the greatest sins you'll be judged for when you find yourself in the kingdom of heaven. But
come on. So tough.
But he can sell a line like, "We've got to rescue Santa Claus."
Yes. Somebody just took Santa. And then he raises
I have to get into a slap fight with the Krampus.
Come on, that scene's funny. It's good stuff.
I never saw the movie. I'm basing this solely off of the trailers.
Yeah, the whole movie. That's basically a whole movie of that attitude, right?
Yeah,
because he does have a polar bear partner in that.
Which, look, I'm all for the hard sell on the ridiculous. It is one of my favorite things to do in
the ridiculous thing treated deadly serious.
Yes, 100%.
Oh, of course, it's the best.
I do love that as a conceit.
It's the best.
Do I need to go seek it out necessarily? No.
Well, that's your loss, man.
But I can watch a Violent Night and be very entertained.
Oh, well, I like Violent Night much more than I like Red One, but
John Leguizamo saying, "I hate Christmas so much."
Yeah, Red One is amazing, but yeah, there is, like I said, that is definitely the visceral appeal of this movie. Is that it's and I said it's polished, it's well done. It's just fun. I mean, like I said, I don't have a ton here to say about this because there's really not a ton here. But that's good that they're not trying to make any more out of Rampage. Like I said, I think a lot of people probably saw this and maybe you could remind them that there was an arcade game that they remember playing. But a lot of people probably just came because like, hey, rockin' big monster, sure,
yeah, and. This movie is a blissful hour 47 minutes.
I also
and
appreciate
it just
that.
Zips by.
Yeah, it is exactly as long as it needs to be. It does not overstay its welcome at all.
No. And we get to the giant monster stuff really quickly. I think we start, like, the weird chemicals get exposed to the animals within, like, 15, 20 minutes.
Oh, easy, yeah. Because you establish them in the beginning with the satellite scene. We go to the Rock for a little bit to embarrass Jack Quaid. Because fuck that guy.
All Jack Quaid is there for is to get embarrassed by the Rock. It's true.
I don't know anything about anything. He's immediately emasculated.
And then we're out.
He's immediately emasculated, put in his place for the weak, scrawny dude that he is. How dare he?
Being a beta male.
Yeah, how dare he try to pick up this hot blonde piece of shit.
Brianna Hill, is there at the beginning.
Yeah. Because he's lying about, yeah, man, I've seen you can't believe the adventures I've been on and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. The Rock is like, no, you haven't, you piece of shit.
Watch out, everyone. He's dropping a lot of bullshit around.
Yeah, it's fun. Oh, here's another thing I like from the trivia. I don't know American Sign Language, so I didn't put this together. But when he's signing to calm the gorilla down, it's me. He makes the symbol for rock.
Yeah, I knew that.
Okay, all right.
I put that together via context clues, John, because that's the Rock making that symbol.
I will say there's a lot of things in here too. Also, apparently Jeffrey Dean Morgan is using the same gun that he carried on Supernatural. So I just like that this movie's like, we don't even care. Just give him the gun that people like seeing him use on that show. Just have him sign Rock. We don't care. We're not taking any of this seriously.
No, and that's kind of the beauty of it. Is just like you're taking it as seriously as the material calls for.
I gotta say, aside from him, I've seen some Supernatural, but I would not have picked up on that. But I do just like that the gorilla gets loose on the plane. Jeffrey Dean Morgan just pulls out a .45 and starts shooting it. Die, gorilla.
The fact that he walks away from that scene is one of the most unbelievable, action hero walks away from a thing.
There are at least 3 scenes where he should definitely die in this movie, and the movie's just like, no, he's too cool a character. We can't.
I mean, that's true for Dwayne Johnson in this film as well.
Yeah.
There are several scenes where it's like, no, he's dead.
Including, once again,
but for some reason, the rubble shifts and he's fine.
Including being shot at point blank. Oh, when they're in the helicopter and he rides a collapsing building with a helicopter that doesn't have a tail on it, but he's just like, no, trust me, I can do this. We're going to glide the helicopter.
It's just like surfing an avalanche.
He is at no point flustered. He's always just like, whatever, I got this. Fucking who cares?
He just turns to Naomi Harrison's like, "Don't worry, it's all CG. It can't hurt us."
I like we keep saying Naomi Harris because who could possibly remember her character's name?
Oh, I can't remember anyone's name in this movie. If I wasn't staring at IMDb, I couldn't tell you that
Dr.
Dwayne Johnson's character name was Davis Okoye, or Naomi Harris played Dr. Kate Caldwell, or that Malin Ackerman played Claire Wyden.
I will say, Dr. Kate Caldwell is one of the most forgettable, just bleh names in Kate Caldwell.
Dr. Kate Caldwell is someone The Flash goes in season 1 issue, and then we immediately forget about her.
I don't even remember them ever saying Jeffrey Dean Morgan's name was Harvey Russell.
He says it a couple times. He says, "I'm Agent Harvey Russell."
Because he feels like a character who should just be like Agent. Right, like he shouldn't
Joe Manganiello, they say the name Burke quite a bit, though.
For a guy who's in the movie for maybe 10 minutes. But they definitely, and I definitely remember him being in the trailer. I think they definitely wanted that to be like a Janet Leigh and Psycho thing where you're surprised that he dies. Right. I do think
they kind of set him up as like the anti-Davis.
Right. You think they're going to fight, and instead he gets eaten by a wolf. And you know who was excited about that? Joe Manganiello, who is one of the biggest nerds on the planet.
Oh, I love his dorky ass.
Oh my God, yeah, he's the best.
If he had an opportunity to be in a giant monster movie and then got eaten, no one would be happy.
I feel like he heard they were making a Rampage movie and called them.
Yeah, I know you didn't watch the Netflix One Piece show,
No,
right?
no, I didn't. Is he in that?
No, he's not in the first season, but he is going to be in the second season.
Oh, of course he is.
Cannot wait.
And once again, I'm sure he called them.
Yeah, and I actually, as far as like anime adaptations,
I do know that people like that
the One Piece one on Netflix is a lot of fun.
I have heard that from several people, that is much better than most of the ones they've done that with.
Yeah, for sure it is.
Yeah. Let's talk about how this did at the box office.
It did okay, I'm guessing.
It did pretty well, I would say. It pulled in, let's see, on a $120 million budget, it made $428 million.
Considering how good this movie looks, I'm actually surprised it cost that little.
Yeah, I am too. The Rock must have taken back end points because I don't think he was getting his full salary if it cost that little. I will say, let's see, where do you think that landed it in the top 200 movies of 2018?
What was the total?
Let's see. Rampage was $428 million.
400. I'm gonna say this definitely broke into the top 20. I'm gonna say 17.
Close. 22. 22nd.
Okay.
Just under A Star Is Born, the Bradley Cooper remake there.
Okay.
And just above Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again.
Okay. I don't know if that says good things about Rampage or bad things about Mamma Mia.
It's not good for anybody. And of course, for
2018, this is our endgame year, yes?
2018 is Infinity War is the number one movie. People heard this last week, of course, too, because this that was also. But it was Infinity War, Black Panther, Jurassic World. Sorry, branding. Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, Incredibles 2, and Aquaman were your top 5.
I always forget Aquaman did so well.
People forget that Aquaman did over $1 billion.
That's wild.
And then nobody cared about the sequel. Isn't that amazing? What happened?
The pandemic.
It's just so wild that then the sequel came out, and even Warner Brothers was like, fucking, here you go. God damn it. And you're like, that's a sequel to $1 billion movie, and you kind of just shit it out? So weird. That's weird. Fine.
He's going to be Lobo now.
Yeah, and then it's just like, oh, and here's what he should have been doing all along.
Yeah.
And even he's like, I'm happier now. It's so weird.
Jason Momoa just keep being Jason Momoa, but now he's a space biker.
Hell yeah, man. I can't wait to see it. I'm very excited for that. Let's finish up here with your favorite segment, Gorgone. It's called Highs and Lows.
Okay, the highs are going to be people being like, well, I think this is the best video game adaptation that's ever been made and nothing will ever top it. And the lows are going to be, I don't like gorillas as a concept.
Show me the evidence. Do these even exist?
I don't think they're real.
Yeah. I've seen the evidence. What's the new girl joke? I don't think dinosaurs were real. I've seen the evidence, but I don't buy it. Well, here's something you might agree with. This comes to us from Too Gnarly. This guy's just too gnarly.
Spelled with a G? Did they spell it right?
No, with an N.
Oh, bastards. They are truly unrighteous.
Yeah. Well, but they do. The title of the review is "Anyone Who Loves Godzilla Movies Will Love This."
Probably right.
Dwayne Johnson and Amy Harris team up in this very well thought out genetic manipulation nightmare. I just love the idea. This nightmare vision this movie presents us with.
Okay, this ain't Congo, all right?
Yeah, right, yeah. This very well thought out genetic manipulation nightmare about the samples from overrun space station disaster thrust into Earth at random areas of the U.S. to be gobbled up by 3 distinct creatures. Just reading through the... Okay. A rare albino gorilla called George. Cute name. Brings back thoughts of George of the Jungle. I guess. And then as much as...
Curious George? That's clearly the illusion here.
Right. Yeah, George of the Jungle. Well, because George wasn't an ape. He was raised by apes, of course, in George of the Jungle. For those,
the ape from George of the Jungle was named Ape.
Yes,
as the theme song tells us.
A surprisingly good movie, by the way.
That movie holds up like crazy.
I know, it's so weird that movie's way better than it should be. Anyway, these 3 creatures begin to exhibit strange behaviors and threaten mankind in most unusual ways. The CGI is incredible and well done. These creatures are quite terrifying as they wreak havoc, making their way to an epicenter. Once again, I got to back out of the review for a second to say, I don't find them like they are a threat. Kaiju movies I don't really think of as like, ooh, they're scary.
There are
some
those sorts of kaiju movies exist.
Yeah, but for the most part, I think of them like this, where it's like, oh man, like
Cloverfield is like that, and I would say Shin Godzilla is like
those
that.
are ones though, and I think I may not be a fan of it, but the Gareth Edwards movie is definitely trying to do that. But those are ones that are more on the ground by nature, right? Because it is about, my God, the destruction these things wrought. Anyway, I just think that was interesting. This movie though is definitely not. Anyway,
Ralph is pretty scary.
I mean, in concept, yes. Lots of fine action, suspense, terror, a lot of gore and death. May not be for the very squeamish. I think gore is pushing it, but
I mean, the bit where Ralph is like really tearing into those.
That's the most
see like
blood
sections being torn in half.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, they cut no more so than you do in the Jurassic World movies.
That's fair. Yeah.
Which take it right up the edge. But hey, don't worry, no nudity or excessive foul language. Okay, nothing questionable.
Oh, good.
Honorable character mentions are Jeffrey Dean Morgan, plays a kind of super non-existent spy. Cool, fun character. Also, Malin Ackerman and Jake Lacey play brother and sister corporate mowers hell-bent on securing the formula at any cost. If you like huge monsters tearing up stuff, this is definitely for you. Plenty of action here. A truly enjoyable sci-fi action watch. We'll watch this a few more times for sure. Enjoy. 10 out of 10 stars.
Favorite monster destruction in this movie, John?
Oh, geez.
For me, it's when Lizzie crawls into the building and snakes around inside of it and then crawls back out of it. That was pretty good.
That's pretty cool. Oh, man, that one is tough to beat. I mean,
the bit where George hurls that tank at a helicopter is pretty good.
Yeah, in terms of destruction, I do like the wolf attacking Manganiello's guy. I mean, it's not, but like in terms of like action sequence involving the wolf versus the spec ops guys was pretty cool. In terms of like, that's the closest you get to like horror, I think, in the movie.
Yeah,
I dug that. But yeah, there's good stuff in here. All right.
Now for the bad review.
Yeah.
Who doesn't believe in gorillas?
Yeah. This comes to us from Kyra Burnett, who says, "Trash, and everyone's blind to it." That's the title of the review. So I just think that,
can't you all see? Can't you
people see? This movie's terrible. It's trash, I tell you.
People.
She's just Charlton Heston from Soylent Green. Rampage is bad. No. You're all blind to the garbage on screen. All right. All in all, let's all agree that Dwayne makes the exact same movie over and over again. handsome and oblivious all the time. No idea how he kept surviving, and the sidekick lady was thrown into the plot. I couldn't care less what happened to her, but it makes no sense how she survived either. I would have liked just Rampage fighting because every single weapon was conveniently placed for Dwayne to use. It was insane. Never did they also realize how many people were dying. I didn't even understand the villains. What was their point? Neither did I understand the officer wanted a hamster. It's a messy script. People need to realize that Dwayne doesn't make a movie better. He keeps repeating them. Eventually people will see it, stop typecasting him, until he comes on to set for an iconic movie and ruins it, like Channing Tatum playing Gambit. 1 out of 10 stars.
Wait, hold on. What does Channing Tatum and Gambit have to do with anything here? When was this written?
2018. Interesting. So this was when it was just the prospect of him playing Gambit.
That was catching strays, Channing Tatum over here.
And fuck you too, Tatum, while you're at it. I'm not even in that movie. I know, but I see you. I see you lurking over there, Tatum, about to play Gambit. I don't like it.
Little did we know that would never happen, and he would then be cast as Gambit in...
And be kind of amazing.
He's okay. Does he need a whole movie? I don't think so, but...
Well, we're getting him. He's
That's
back
just
in...
rumor.
He's back in Doomsday.
Oh, in Doomsday, sure, but
yeah.
He's not getting a whole... it's not Gambit Doomsday.
Oh, man. You know what? I'd be there, though. Oh, Shirley, you better watch out for Dr. Doom.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that's about the right level of accent
because it's all Doomsday. He's doing very true to the 90s animated series Gambit voice.
For better or for worse, yes.
All right. Well, that's Rampage. Of course, you want to hear more from us, you can check us out on our Patreon page, patreon.com/punchup. And once again, this Punch Up ENT. Get cool exclusive bonus content from this show and all the shows on the Punch Up Entertainment Network. Where else can people check us out, Gorgone?
Spotify? No, YouTube. YouTube.
Well, you can also check us out on Spotify if you want to. But yeah, yes. YouTube is a great place.
Yeah, check out all of our stuff on YouTube. You got all the shows like this and Camel Jones Meet the Monsters, Material Components. You can check out our YouTube exclusive stuff like May the Panel Be With You. You can read the comic along with us while you're there. Or Punch Up Plays, where Elliot and I are making our way through the Mass Effect franchise. Please like, comment, subscribe while you're there. It really helps us out.
Indeed. Next week on the show, very exciting. Gorgone, you get the week off as our friend Reed Morris is back with us to talk about Pokemon Detective Pikachu.
Reed and I had a thumb wrestling contest to see who would get that movie, and unfortunately, his water type beat my fire type, and he just got that one better.
I like that. I gave Reed several movies, and he's like, "Oh, I'd like to do Detective Pikachu."
That movie rules.
It actually is better than it has any business being, for sure.
I think because I've seen the complete list of the season, I would honestly say I think that is the best movie of the bunch.
Interesting. I do think it's I liked it more than I thought I would, and I don't give a shit about Pokemon.
Reed and I both love Pokemon. So.
Right. Yeah. But I just
give him my best. I'm jealous.
Yeah. Because I know what you're doing next, and it's not as good as that, I don't think. Paul W.S. Andersonville for you. But that's going to do it for the IP Squad this week. Until next time, the case file is closed.